What's up, everyone? Welcome to the podcast. The show dedicated to talk about all the popular things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I am one of your co-hosts, JesseKazam.
And I can see
clearly now
a pizza. It's so wild. Wait, look.
Oh, right there.
I'm like, why is Jesse's branding in my screen and his screen? Why is there a pizza box?
Oh, yeah.
And it's, oh my God, and it's even like backwards
Oh, yeah.
mirrored, so it
says
proper.
Kazam. Wow.
Actually incredible.
Actually amazing.
Bro, have you ever seen that? See, this is like one of those things where I think I'm, at least hopefully average intelligence, okay?
Okay.
But there was one of those like kind of head scratchers that's a picture that's basically like explain this.
Gotcha. Okay.
That I was like seeing a bunch of people who I know aren't the smartest crayons in the box.
Uh-huh.
Which is exactly how that phrase goes, by the way. Who were like, wow, I can't believe you don't get it. Like, how dumb are you?
Yeah, okay.
And I feel like it's one of those things they were probably like, I don't get it. And then they like Googled it. And then of course they were like, oh yeah, of course. Oh, you're so dumb.
Yeah, I would have gotten that eventually.
Now I want to see if I can find the picture to see if you.
What is this even in relation to?
It's in relation to the reflection that we just
saw.
Oh. See behind. I'm probably not going to find it. Wait.
Sometimes I do want like an LLM AI to like aggregate all my like just internet history, because the amount of times I like see a video and then want to reference it like 3 days later. ChatGPT, what was that video I watched about the snail and the thing?
Yeah, dude. All right, so I found it.
Okay.
So this is just one of those things that it wasn't really that I like couldn't figure out why. It was more so that like I couldn't understand how all the comments were like, duh, this is so obvious.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I haven't seen this image, but I have. Yeah.
This wasn't the image I saw either.
Yeah.
But it was the same kind of thing where it was like a thing that was blocked by, the thing. How can you see it? Right.
Yeah.
And is that like, explain it. How do you see it?
I mean, it seems like magic, but it's really just like angles, right? Like, it's not showing what's directly behind the thing. It's showing like what can be seen as a reflection off of the angle. So like he was standing wide to the mirror, which means the angle goes the opposite way wide and can catch, like if he had put a laser pointer on his eyeball, right? The laser pointer would have landed on the part of the forehead of the guy that he could see, right? You know what I mean? But it does seem weird that it seems like from that guy's perspective, like you wouldn't be able to see my face because it was hidden behind the thing.
Yeah, like from the perspective of the camera, right?
Yeah.
I would, if I were to draw a line, like without thinking too much about it.
Yeah.
I would think that the laser pointer would hit the mirror and then hit the back of the shirt.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
especially when some of these, like when some of the still frames from these videos or some of the pictures, make it seem that way. But mirrors are crazy, man.
Yeah. Anyway, that was just one of the things that like I saw that like, it's one of those things that to me still like I recognize, I know the answer.
Yeah.
But like my brain is like, no.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I remember having one of those moments too where it was like somebody was like, why is like text backwards in a mirror? And people think that like the mirrors flip the text. Like if you have like text on your shirt, but it doesn't. It's like if you write something on a piece of paper, like dad, D-A-D, and then you hold that piece of paper up so that you can read it, the mirror doesn't see it because the mirror is seeing the back of the page. You're turning it around to show it to the mirror. So you have flipped it. Like the text on my shirt, like, does that make sense? I would have to turn the shirt around for me to read it. It's already flipped, and the mirror is just showing what it sees.
That's another one of those things that, like, I know that that's the right answer.
Yeah.
But it's just not.
But Yep.
And I guess there are just some things that I think, like, aren't intuitive to some people, and for whatever reason, when it comes to like, especially like I did all the light refraction bullshit in the flat Earth video, right? Like it's not like I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But it's not like an intuition that just comes sort of naturally.
Yep.
Did you ever? I think I might have talked about this in a video, and it might have even been in a Tarkov video, but I'm not sure. The Monty Hall problem.
Oh yes, we've talked about it before on the cast for sure. But that's another classic one that I've gone down the rabbit hole myself to try to understand the Monty Hall problem, where you do want to switch mathematically.
Yeah, we're switching like is effectively doubles your odds.
Yeah, your odds. Yeah, you might still get the wrong answer, but you go from a 33% chance to get it right to a 66% chance to get it right. Yeah, the Monty Hall, that one's just like you're never. It's just so unintuitive to the brain.
You have to like basically draw out the like matrix, like the tree of possible outcomes.
Yeah.
And almost like place yourself on the correct node in the tree and go, okay, well, if I go down this path, then it's, 1 out of 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go this path, it's 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something that really,
that's actually an interesting perspective that actually helps it make more sense. You only switch if the host knows which door has the prize, because they would never accidentally reveal the prize.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's like the core conceit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah. That just helps my brain. Yeah. I saw a Vsauce video where he walked up to a mirror and he put his phone against the mirror, and then Sharpie outlined his phone. And he was talking about how no matter how far away you are from the mirror, that box will only ever just fit your phone. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's weird, man. Mirrors are weird.
I remember that video, and now I'm wondering if you were to put your phone like on a tripod, and if you moved back but your phone stayed, would that?
I think it wouldn't fit anymore. Like it would be too small or too big, I think.
Yeah, like the angular size would change. Yeah,
because the thing is staying. Yeah, this is the most high conversation.
Yeah, we should be on some edibles or something right now. That's just another one of those things that like I would have to draw out. It's just not intuitive to me. Like, I need a pencil, a ruler, and some paper to like
100%
work this shit out. There's something about like light and angles, like the way that vision works,
bro.
One sec. Wait. Okay, man. So
you ever thought about the eye?
Bro, have you ever thought about like how do we see, man? But really though, like how we see, it just makes the world seem so like nebulous and intangible when you think like all we're seeing, like you don't see the thing, you're seeing light coming from somewhere bouncing off the thing and reflecting.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yep.
That means
I blew, like, I had one of those moments where I said something that I knew was going to be like a fun fact to my wife, but she like, and she gave me the look that she was like, I don't believe you, but I believe you. But I was talking to her about, I was like, you know how the like you talk about seeing and like the visible spectrum of the electromagnetic spectrum, like it's all waves, man. And I was like infrared, microwave, radio, X-ray, like they're all the same thing. And light, it's just how fast the wave is going, and we can only see. And she was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, but I believe that you're right. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I was like,
what does it look like, man?
It's all the same thing. It's just how fast is the shit going, man. It's weird.
It just makes me like, imagine if there was a way, maybe there will be someday, to like visualize so many of the hidden things.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you're in underwater, you can see, you know, way the water's moving and you know, imagine if like you could see the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
As if it was like flowing. You could see the like fucking the 5G,
yeah.
You know, what the
you could see the Wi-Fi in your house.
Yeah.
Bro.
Just imagine, man, all the things. When I talk, you would just see like ripples of like the vibrating air is just, and it would be, you'd see into this and it would go.
And dude, that shit blows my mind. That in like damn near real time, like you're just speaking and that those waves are being picked up by something analog, converted to a digital signal that sounds exactly the way you sound when I meet you IRL, to a digital signal that is being sent a friggin' 1,000 miles down the East Coast to me in damn near real time. I am hearing you, effectively real time. Like, you know what I mean? I'm hearing what you say and we're having a conversation on other sides of the country. It's fucking insane, bro.
This is the most baked conversation, but I cannot.
It is.
This is another bit. Everyone was saying how much they loved the last Unhinged episode, where this is gonna just be that. Like, fuck video games.
Dude, oh my God.
I think about this all the time, especially, like, this is in the back of my mind 80% of the time we have this podcast, okay? Is this one individual fact that, like, when I speak, let's just say there's a 3-second latency, right? Like, we have to make it a noticeable latency.
Yeah.
I speak, it gets to you 3 seconds later, and then you speak and it gets to me another 3 seconds later. So why are you not 6 seconds behind? Why am I not like, hey man, what's up? And you're like,
dude,
nothing, man. What's up with you?
I don't, dude. Do you think the latency is really 3 seconds? I think the latency is milliseconds. No. Yeah.
No, you have to make it 3 seconds to make sense of
for sure.
Conceptually what we're talking about.
That's what makes it so crazy, is that like there obviously is latency, but it's so minimal that it doesn't impede conversation, which is wild.
Yeah, and this is why I think so much more often on like a Zoom call or whatever, you run into I start talking at the same time you start. Sorry, because I start talking and you've already started.
Yep.
So I'm interrupting you in the past, basically. God, we're all just time travelers, man, if you think about it. And actually, really, if you think about it, we are, because we're always time traveling forward at 1 second per second.
1 second per second. That's how fast I move.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, there's some videos out there that people will have to, I can't remember any of them. Maybe if you Google it, the actual AI overview that you get from Googling now, I want to say 15% of the time is like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
85% of the time is like, let me just scroll past this. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. But, you know, when it comes to like, there's a song I'm thinking of with I literally had to Google this band, Sylvan Esso. It's just a guy and a girl. I think they might be married. I'm not sure, but they do like some fucking electric music. And I literally Googled like Tiny Desk concert, duo, electronic music, furry boots, song about wolf, ? And it was like, you might be talking about Sylvan Esso. I'm like, yep, that's exactly it. I could just remember a few random details.
Yep.
But what was I talking about before I got sidetracked with that? What were we talking about, man?
I don't know.
I was talking about the overview.
Sound overview.
God damn it.
It'll come back.
Yeah, it won't.
It'll come back. It is crazy. But mirrors are freaky too, for sure.
Fucking magnets. How do they work?
Magnets, bro. Making plasma in the microwave.
Yo, speaking of not magnets, or well, yes, magnets, not microwave. Bro, I literally should be high. It's been years. Anyway, so the other day I made like the joke. Someone said something. I think I was at breakfast with either my in-laws or our best friends who are like another couple.
Okay.
Someone says about magnets. And then I made the joke like, yeah, fucking how do they work? And no, actually someone else, maybe Meg did. Anyway, and I was like, do you even know what that's referencing? And she's like, yeah, it was like the guy in the song. And I'm like, okay, what does the guy in the song look like? And she's like, I don't know, just like a guy, a normal guy. I'm like, so you've never seen? And I like pulled up a picture of like whatever fucking Crazy Mike or whatever. What's
yeah. Magnets. How did they? I don't know. I can see the song.
Wait, but do
I mean,
you
I can
not know?
I can see the image of him in like the music video of whatever.
What does
magnets?
He look like?
How do they work? I don't remember. That's what I'm saying. Is like I don't remember his name.
This is the same. This is like the critical thing where it's like
you showed me the video not long ago. Like I think we watched it. Yeah.
You're like the third person that has made that reference and that can't remember the thing that should be the only thing you ever talk about when it comes to the music video. Not the name.
Oh.
What does he look like?
Is he a clown?
He's a fucking juggalo.
Okay, yeah.
When I asked Meg, I'm like, have you even seen it? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, then what does the guy look like? Tell me what the guy looks like, because I don't think you've ever seen it. And she's like, I don't know. It's like a dude. And I'm like, you would never look at this and say it's just a dude. No. So you haven't seen it.
It's weird, but I have seen it. That's what's weird. It's like, I don't know why the cultural touchstone of like the magnets, how do they work? That just became such a funny part of that song. And then it's so weird how the brain can divvy up that from the funny looking guy. What's his name?
I don't even know. Okay. Insane Clown Posse names.
Or what's their name? Is it the Insane Clown Posse?
Insane Clown Posse. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's Violent J. Okay. Shaggy Too Dope. Oh fuck! Wait. There's only two of them. Why did I think one was like Magic Mike or something? Or is that Marky Mark stripper movie?
I don't know that Marky Mark was in it, but it is a stripper movie.
Magic
it was
Mike.
Channing Tatum, right? Wasn't he Magic Mike?
Yeah, never mind. I was thinking about I was thinking about a different movie altogether.
Okay.
The end scene where Marky Mark whips out like a 13-inch cock.
I can't say I've seen that one.
It's a prosthetic. But yeah, you should look up the lyrics to that song. The song's called Miracles, by the way, and it's basically just talking about UFOs. A river flows. The Milky Way and fucking shooting stars. Plant a little seed and nature grows. Niagara Falls and the pyramids. Everything you believed in as kids. Fucking rainbows after it rains. There's enough miracles here to blow your brains. I fed a fish to a pelican at Frisco Bay. I tried to eat my cell phone. He ran away. And music is magic, pure and clean. Not this music, bud. You can feel it and hear it, but it can't be seen. Full circle. You can't see the sound waves, bro. They were cooking before we knew what cooking was.
They were cooked. They were high as a kite when they were writing that song. But at the same time, in some way, it is like an endearing, like a acknowledgement of how crazy this world is, I guess.
Oh my God. They really were like prophets, modern day prophets. Music is a lot like love. It's all a feeling, and it fills the room from floor to ceiling. I see miracles all around me. Stop and look around. It's all astounding. Slant rhyme. Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work? And I don't want to talk to a scientist. Y'all motherfuckers lying and getting me pissed. Solar eclipse.
Damn.
Vicious weather. 15,000 juggalos together. That's a sight to behold.
Hold on, is this like low-key, like a Christian worship song? He doesn't want to talk to this.
I mean, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I love my mom for giving me this. Time on this planet. Taking nothing for granted. I seen a caterpillar. Oh my God. Time on this planet, taking nothing for granted is what you should have said if you're going to do some like slang ass shit, because the next sentence is, I seen a caterpillar turn into a butterfly. But you haven't. Miracles ain't nothing to lie. Shaggy's little boys look just like Shaggy, and my little boy looks just like Daddy. The Dark Carnival is your invitation to witness that without explanation. Yeah, the Dark Carnival is capitalized. What the fuck is the Dark?
Welcome to the Dark Carnival.
The Dark Carnival. I don't think I want to know what the Dark Carnival is, brother.
Welcome.
Sheesh, bro.
Anyway. So what's up?
Wow.
How are things?
Things are
since the Dark Carnival.
Things are good, man. Since the Dark Carnival, all the miracles that have been happening. How do you even move on from that? Things are good. Things are good. Been playing a lot of Battlefield. Been playing a lot of the finals. Getting excited for Arc Raiders. Been talking. I mean, I guess we should we should start with some of the funny Tarkov news, because I've been playing so little. It's just like reporting on it from the sidelines, which I think is funny.
Talking about Tarkov from the sidelines?
Your specialty. But before we do that, I do want to take a quick second and thank the first sponsor for this episode, and that is The Perfect Gene. Let me tell you, they named it with some high expectations, and they are, look at that tush caked up. The Perfect Gene, genuinely my favorite pair of jeans I've ever had. I always went previously with I was looking for $15 skinny jeans, man, which last exactly as long as $15 skinny jeans you would expect them to. So I thought I was saving money on jeans, and then I was having to buy new jeans every single quarter because they were ripping all the time. These are insanely premium. It's the perfect amount of stretchy, but still like denim. They're not like spandex just that look like jeans. They are denim. They are jeans. They have literally, me and choice. It's not like, here is our jean, I hope you like box cut or whatever. They literally, you can do slim fit, skinny, boot cut, whatever. You can get them in every single denim color known to man. You can get white jeans. You can get distressed jeans. You can get khaki. You can get anything you want in any size. Look at it. Yeah. Athletic, slim, thick, slim, thick, 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 thick. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, bro. You can get them at any size, length, and width, by the way. Nobody lets you pick your own length in jeans anymore, at least the places I was shopping, and which is horrendous. So they're freaking amazing. I genuinely love them.
Dude, tell me about it. I literally had to go buy a suit today. And because sadly I'm approaching dad full on dad bod mode. Tried to get a new suit. And like literally that's part of what I was doing this morning. And none of the combinations of length and inseam
Dude.
and waist, none of it was
Yep.
right. None of it was good.
Yep.
And the only one I was able to find that was the right length and waist was like bell bottom.
Oh,
Right?
cut.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm a generally skinny guy.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
want some, but man, you just can't get
Mhm.
basically anywhere what I'm looking for, except for the perfect jean.
Yeah.
It genuinely is so comfortable. Well, actually, one of the things I've noticed is that like some jeans, they just change
Mhm.
after you wash them.
Yep.
And like not better.
No.
These have literally, they've been the same since I've had them from day one.
Yeah.
No tears, no rips, nothing.
Yeah.
They're super comfortable. I can literally wear jeans like sweatpants.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
they are that comfortable.
They only sent us one pair. I've bought 3 more. Like, because
Yep.
I like having like a black jean. I like having a light jean. I like having like a dark jean. You know what I mean? So I like having, and then you're set like any occasion. I am thinking about getting a pair of the Den khakis because khakis are.
I've got the khakis.
Yeah,
dude.
the khakis. You can do a pair. They sell polos. They sell some shirts too. Some polos. You can like be looking nice out there. But I mean, they're just great. For a limited time, our listeners can get 15% off their first order plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc or Google The Perfect Jean and use promo code. Let me make sure I get this right. Pogcast15 for 15% off. That's 15% off for new customers. Perfectjean.nyc with promo code Pogcast15. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Get rid of your khakis and get the perfect jean. Bada bing. So, dude, it's I'm definitely having these moments that I'm sure you had when you kind of like stopped playing Tarkov, but like where you like check whatever. You check Twitter for 5 minutes and you just see like an Inception tweet within a tweet within a tweet within a tweet, and it's all just like arguing about like some random stupid mechanic in Tarkov, and you have that feeling where you're like, I'm free. And I've been having that feeling a lot recently. But they have been doing some funny stuff. So I've been playing ABI and enjoying that. ABI in the finals up until like Battlefield came out. So I've been still on the extraction shooter grind, but like Arena Breakout has just been such a fun change of pace. But remember we talked about there was the drama over whether there was going to be like an extra wipe before 1.0. And that was because they wanted to do Softcore Tarkov, which is just such a gross name. Like, I don't know. Softcore Tarkov. They obviously didn't do a wipe, but they did release Softcore Tarkov. And so they were like, the Softcore changes beginning tomorrow. This was like a week ago. What they did was they reduced the inertia dependency on carried weight. The inertia now has significantly less impact with the heavier loads. So this was like a misunderstanding. A lot of people thought they like got rid of inertia or reduced inertia. They didn't do it. The game feels exactly the same when you're like 20 kilograms. It's that as you get heavier, the inertia was more present, and that scaling was reduced by like up to 70% in some cases when you're really heavy. So everybody was like, they didn't change anything. And it's like, well, kill 3 guys and then walk around with 70 kilos and you'll feel it. And I felt it immediately once I like had a bunch of loot on. They reduced aim punch by 60%. They increased the base overweight status by 50%. So you can carry 50% more weight before you're overweight, just as a base. They added a bunch of new dog tags, like basically for like all rare stuff, AK-50, super kitted guns, a bunch of stuff, like 2 or 3 dog tags. You could get like insane gear. Increase the number of duffel bags and stashes on all locations, increase the number of valuable items on all locations, added various container spawns. Oh, we're going to come back to that. Increase colored keycard spawns, remove the listing restrictions on the flea market, added access to the flea market at level 10. So now you could get flea market at level 10. You can list up to 5 items and literally anything can be sold. Every ammo in the game, every container, no found in raid, no restrictions. Every armor, every gun, every ammo, every container, everything can be sold on the flea. Increase PMC skill leveling speed, and remove the ability to earn limited hardcore wipe achievements. Okay, because the hardcore part is over. And then added various container spawns in marked rooms. You know, one of the most nostalgic things is finding the weapons case in the marked rooms. Okay, so they put them back. And in the most battle state games bullshit, the most expected battle state games bullshit, they put them in the marked room, but did not update the logic on that being an item that cannot be put into a backpack.
It's worse to see a case you can't pick up than it is.
And it wasn't just weapon cases, thick weapon cases. People are opening marked rooms. Marked keys are like, 50 million because they get inflated prices, and people are just leaving them behind. Now they fixed that like 6 hours in or something like that. But dude, it was the most expected outcome. Like, it just is insane how expected, like how not surprising that is. Dude, it was insane. But overall, like, I think they hyped up this a little too much. They should have just called this an event. Like there were months where they were like 3 months ago, Nikita was like, yeah, we might do something kind of like crazy at the end. And then like a month ago at Tokyo Game Show, he was like, yeah, we're going to make it go completely the other way. Like, largely what this is like, this is an event with basically two things: open flea market and reduced like movement penalties. And so people were like, on day one, it was like softcore. Like they thought it was going to be like as like a huge deal. And it really is just like it's like an event where they changed movement and they did open flea market. Now, that being said, I much prefer everything about the movement here. Base overweight being higher is something I've wanted in the game for such a long time. You still feel more sluggish when you've got a ton of stuff on you. You're not like jiggle. Remember back in the day, 2018, where you could literally have 100 kilograms in your backpack and there was no movement speed penalty, right?
No, yeah, weight did nothing.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not that. It's just not as ass as it had been, which is something I've wanted for a really long time. The inertia, so like all of that stuff, it reduced aim punch by 60%. How many times have I bitched about aim punch on this podcast? You know what I mean? So it's like, I love all that stuff. I'm not even saying softcore is bad. That stuff is all great. The flea market, I genuinely, I just don't care anymore. Open flea market, closed flea market, no flea market. Everybody's got like a doctorate thesis on what's best for the game. My thing is that like, they don't know what they're doing. And all I want them to do is like have an understanding about what they want to do. If they want to make it open flea market like this, I'm sure they could, if they ever like spent more than 10 minutes, I'm sure they could balance the game around an open flea market. I'm sure they could balance the game around a restricted flea market. I'm sure they could balance the game around no flea market. As long as at least one human being in the office understands that when we say balance the game around, they understand that that means more than just the flea market. That the loot economy from the hideout, the loot economy from arena, the loot economy from locked rooms, the loot economy from the bosses all affect the sum total that is the economy, and that all of those things need to be balanced along with whether the flea is open, closed, or restricted. So I genuinely don't give a shit. It's almost nice to have it open right now because that's kind of how ABI is. So it's like, oh cool, I can just like buy. But genuinely, I played softcore for 3 hours and then just went back to the finals and never went back. It had no like bearing on.
That's the question that I get still like maybe twice a week. Incarnate. And the question is, what would they need to do to Tarkov to get you to come back? And like all I can say is Tarkov needs to be a TARDIS that takes me back to 2018.
Yeah.
Like until it takes me back, like I'm not
Yeah.
It's not to say that there's nothing they could do that would make it great. There's nothing to do to improve it.
Exactly.
It's just like I personally, like if you don't fucking want to eat, you know, seafood anymore or whatever,
Yeah.
I've become a vegan. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys. All I do is talk about how I'm a vegan. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. There's and my thing here is that like the thing I was saying immediately was like, if you watched my video on, they created a game that they don't understand. In that video, I spent 20 minutes basically before I talk about the hardcore wipe, because I needed to set the stage for the fact that it's like, they don't know how to make changes. So what else could the hardcore wipe have been, right? You know what I mean? Other than them taking like 10 disparate things and then throwing them all at the wall. And then, then looking at those 10 things and being like, these two things cancel each other out. These two things are in complete contradiction. And then you're like, oh, you guys didn't think about the things. This is just that too. Like when people say, when I did that whole spiel in the video where I was like, two people want Tarkov like it was back in the day. One person wants it like that because it was harder back in the day because there was no arena and no flea market. And one person wants it back in the day because it was easier. There was no inertia. There was no weight system. And it's like, this is that again, where it's like they went, okay, well, people don't like the hardcore. Let's just go the complete opposite direction and maybe people will like it. And some people were like, oh my God, it's going to be so exciting because it's going to be just like it is back in the day. But then they like turbo buffed key card spawns and like the loot in the marked rooms and stuff like that. And it's like this wipe, red key cards. I've found 3 red key cards my entire 10,000 hours playing Tarkov. 2 of them have been in the hardcore wipe. The value of them is less than a Bitcoin. And so when people think about how much fun it was to like loot back in the day, it was because if you found something, it was rare, and it being rare meant you can sell it for a lot of money. So when they do this, once again, this softcore change wasn't just like about movement or about everything. They just throw a bunch of stuff at the wall. This is going to like deflate the economy because everyone's going to be finding and bartering for the best shit in the game, which means finding the best shit in the game doesn't really do anything for you, which is not how it was back in the day. So there's going to be less inertia just like it was back in the day, but the economy's like, they just did it again, right? Like, which is once again, expected behavior at this point.
We did it again.
Yeah. So it wasn't at all surprising, but I was like, it was almost vindicating because like, in the back of your head, you're almost like, I don't know, man, was I too harsh in the video? But then they like literally do exactly what I spelled out in the video 48 hours after the video comes out. And it's like, oh no, like you nailed it. Like I could have predicted this based on everything I said in the video. So, at the base, it's at least like just something cool to try if you're vibing with Tarkov. I played for like literally 3 hours and then I was done. Oh, and then the only other interesting thing to note is that the meds and ammo still can't go in your secure container, which I actually think now is not for a while I thought that they had just forgotten to turn that off. I actually think that what they're doing is saying this is how it is now. Like 1.0, like they've peeled back all the other hardcore changes. They literally stopped you. You can no longer get the hardcore wipe achievements. And we're in softcore event. And that's still in the game. I think that they snuck that in hardcore. And that was like, that is how Tarkov is going to be moving forward. So I actually don't expect to ever be able to put ammo or meds in your secure container again. Which, as with all things Tarkov related, I think could be a good change if the systems those things were related to were balanced. Like meds, like I think it only applies more pressure to the painkiller problem. How just the whole system is ass, where like they don't want you pre-popping, but then if you don't pre-pop and you get shot, you can't do anything. So everyone still wants to pre-pop. So everyone's just buying more like aniline painkillers. You don't want to take a 200,000 ruble golden star in with you because you have to put it in your rig. And if you die to a scav, you're going to lose that 200. Like it just, so it's like, could no meds in the container be great? Yeah, it could be, but that would just require them to think about like one other step in the process, which they will never do. So it will probably be ass.
And not for nothing, but like, if you think about, let's just say the average player and up,
mm-hmm.
The average player I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I know the average player. I don't know. I have a feeling that the average player isn't really like min-maxing or stressing too much about the like.
Yeah.
What I think that this change, the biggest way that anybody playing will feel it, this is what I suspect, is how much of an inconvenience it is.
Yeah.
That's like 95% of it.
Yeah.
Like more than the pre-pain meta blah 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 stuff. I feel like most people, what they're gonna feel is, oh, I died. Now I need to buy. Okay, now I'm good. As opposed to, you know, especially early wipe, having like a grizzly in your container, it's like a lifesaver because it'll just get you. It'll do
you
whatever.
Just don't have to think about it for like 10 raids.
It's one item that can do all the things.
Yeah.
So you don't need to buy or collect or make sure you have 4 things on you at all times. This just guarantees that it's 4 more fucking clicks you need to do to get back into the next raid.
But once again, who does this hurt not being able to put meds in your container? It doesn't hurt me. I can afford 2 injector cases, which means I can put 18 stims because you can put injector cases and stims in your secure container still. So I can have 9 propitols instead of a golden star, and those are my pre-pops. And then I can still have 3 ETGs, 3 mules to take all the stuff I want, and stims that stop bleeds and all sorts of stuff.
Okay. So then I double down on what I said because I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's just going to hurt everyone who isn't in the upper echelon of the game by being annoying and frustrating. Yep. Not by being hardcore. It's annoying and frustrating because it's just clicks and money.
Exactly.
It's inconvenient.
Exactly.
It's not hardcore.
Exactly. And that is exactly. It would be much more like, I'm not saying this is a good change, but it would be much more hardcore in the classic sense to flip it. And you can put meds in your secure container, but not stims. Because meds like almost require you to like, you know, you need a med for heals and a med for splints and a med for this. And then you have the grizzly, but the grizzly takes up almost your entire secure container. The fact that in one cell, a 1x1, you can have 9 stims and each of those can do a different thing. They can heal you for different amounts.
Heals.
Yeah, you can run farther. Your weight doesn't matter. It can heal all your bleeds. It can be painkillers. You can do all those things. It's like it'd be more hardcore to force you to bring it 2x2 in your secure container than a 1x1. So it's just I'll get off my soapbox there because once again, it doesn't affect me really. It's just like it's in a long list of BSG just nonstop hurting the casual player disproportionately more than the Chads when it's the Chads who they're trying to hurt. And it doesn't make sense. The only other funny thing that's worth noting is I think I told you 2 weeks ago when we had the podcast. I haven't played Arena. I played exactly 3 rounds of Arena in the hardcore wipe. On like day 1, the servers went down for an hour and I played. So I haven't played Arena at all. But a couple of weeks ago, what they did was they like made big changes to like inertia and movement and stuff like that. I actually do think I read through the patch notes. I haven't played Arena, but what I had heard was people were loving it. They were like vibing with it. They were really enjoying it. They were hoping it would come to Tarkov. It didn't come in Tarkov in the Softcore. The Tarkov one was like more the scaling, less than the inertia. All I know is that somebody told me that this happened on Twitter, so I looked for it just in preparation for the cast. They did a patch today or yesterday in Arena that increased the general character inertia strength by 10% and reduced the strength skill from 30 to 20. So they were defaulting you at level 30 strength and they had nerfed inertia. Well, they buffed the amount of inertia and reduced the thing. And the comments are just like, people are so pissed because it was like, because they said in the patch notes, it was like, we have carefully analyzed player feedback. And then literally everybody was like, what does that mean? Like everybody was stoked for this change and they reverted part of it. And it's so funny. That friendly guy's response is like now living rent free in my head. He just responded to the tweet at this point, surely BSG is just rage baiting. And I was like, dude, that like the marked room with the cases. You know what I mean? It's like, I actually do think it is incompetence, but it would be so five-head if it was rage bait. If a 17-year-old Gen Z was in charge of the changes, they would look the same. Like if you told a 17-year-old to be like, yo, can you just like nonstop, if he worked at BSG and his job was to rage bait the shit out of Tarkov players, their actions would look almost identical. I think they're doing it accidentally.
The only difference would be that the patch notes would be a KEKW JPEG, and that's it.
Yeah.
The same functional changes of the game. It would just be a lol what or whatever.
Exactly. So it's funny. I don't know. It's funny. They hit like 500,000 wish lists on Steam. It's still coming November 15th. I think all we're gonna get probably between now and then is just like some pre-wipe events, which is stock standard. I think the community is less confident in what 1.0 is going to be than ever, because you had the pendulum one way with the hardcore wipe and it was received really poorly. You had the pendulum now the other way with like softcore, but even that kind of has its own identity crisis. Nobody knows what 1.0 is going to be. Nobody has an expectation, which that in and of itself is just sad, right? Like you were a part of the project since 2016, 2017. I came in 2018.
Me? No, the end of 2018.
No, I started playing at the end of 2018.
End of 2017.
Okay, yeah. So you've been playing since 2017. I've been playing since 2018. Whether I was excited about Tarkov or not.
God, that's 8 years ago. Fuck.
Yeah. What either one of us would have wanted is that the vibe amongst the current community to be excitement, right? Anybody that's played Tarkov over the past few years, whether they quit, whether it's like Warren or Cotton or you or me, I'm sure you'd rather have it feel like Christmas Eve than like Tax Day Eve. And that's kind of what it feels like. It's like there is not this like general consensus of like, holy shit, it's finally happening. Oh my God, I'm so stoked. Yeah, maybe we had a slow year, but like whatever, 1.0 is happening. It's just like vitriol. And obviously not everybody. This is just like who posts. So I get that. If you're someone that is excited, I'm not saying you don't exist. But it's just like the arguing is at an all-time high because BSG keeps like, right? Like the hardcore wipe triggered so many arguments because you had people who were like, the game should be more hardcore. You had people said the game shouldn't be more hardcore. You had people saying the game should be more hardcore, but this is not hardcore. You had like, you know what I mean? And then the softcore. Now people are like, see, we told you it should be less hardcore. And then no, it should be more. Like they've increased the arguing about what is Tarkov and what it should be, as opposed to like it's so sad. Even if I'm like on the Arc Raiders cope train, even if I'm like done with Tarkov or whatever, I would have just hoped that like the eve of 1.0 would have been filled with like community hype. And it's just like, it just feels like people know what this game is less than they did in 2018.
Well, that's because none of the people playing were playing in 2018.
Yeah, very few of them are.
When I detach myself from like my own lived history, okay, and I rewind back, I bet you if you were to go back, someone, maybe you do this, maybe not, maybe I'll eat my words, but I vaguely recall tweeting once, maybe twice, circa 2018, that the Escape from Tarkov community was hands down the best community.
Oh yeah,
on Twitch.
That vibe carried through. Yeah,
streamer, there, other than one guy, everybody, and you probably haven't heard of this guy. Don't worry, chat. Everybody got along. We supported each other. We like, it was all hosting everybody. It was literally like, it was like Deadly Slob, Cotton,
Anton, Smoke.
No, this was before Anton.
Okay.
Well, Anton was bigger on YouTube because he did the first armor testing.
That's true. He was the OG armor testing.
So Cotton, Deadly Slob, Smoke, and Clean were like and Sequisha were
Yes.
like the big names that were streaming. And then we were all 23 viewer Andys, which guess who's back there? But never been happier, by the way.
Yep.
We all fucking, it was just, we had the mindset that no one has now, which is we can all succeed together. Not,
Yeah.
I have to, if I succeed, that means someone else, it's a zero-sum game,
Yeah.
right? I need to take someone else's slot, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But I'm going to say something that, oh man,
That I regret.
I'm going to alienate the people who I've already alienated. So I have no enemies that I don't already have. Don't think about the grammar of that too much. But what happened is the community got overrun by a mass mob of edgelord fucking operator wannabe Zoomer kids. That's what happened. The average age in 2018 to the Tarkov player was 41. Okay. Now it's 21. And the kids started playing 2 or 3 years ago during COVID when they were 18, and they spent their entire high school going to school on Zoom calls, not interacting with humans.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's just so fucking.
But I would
and drops was also, it brought in a ton of people for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I don't inherently disagree. I do think that anytime a game gets popular, it's always going to lose some amount of the tight-knit community. But I think that like...
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it got popular, but it wasn't...
Yeah.
It got popular amongst the community it wasn't popular in, which is a community...
Yes.
It's a demographic where like the 40-year-olds don't get along with the 19-year-olds,
yes.
right?
But
we're old.
What I'm saying
uncool.
is you lay that at the feet of BSG, not of like the Zoomer kids, because the game spent half of its life cycle as Fortnite and the other half as Arma.
Yeah.
And then everybody is like, oh my God, they're fighting. And it's like, I'm saying I agree with you. To your point, you're going, yeah, some people want Fortnite and some people want Arma. Of course, like, if you put those two, if you took 100 Arma players and 100 Fortnite players and put them in a third game, an unnamed game, they would immediately argue about how to balance that game. And so what I'm saying is like, that was the point of my video. They created a game that they don't understand, is that, and I actually don't think this was malicious. I just think over time, they didn't have a clear, consistent vision for what they wanted the game to be. And so they swerved to the left. And when the game was hard left, it picked up a whole bunch of people that were like, this is sick. And then it swerved to the right. And while it was all the way over here on the right, it picked up a whole bunch of people that were like, oh my God, this is sick. And then it just kept swerving. And then the kids in the back of the van started arguing. And to be honest with you, like I say this, as someone who has, been argued with a ton, to a degree, they're both right. If you miss Jiggle Peak, 80 strafe, flying around the corner, 100 kilogram Tarkov, you deserve to miss that because that is how Tarkov was for a long time. If you miss 2017, 2016, fucking, if you miss that, you deserve that because that is how Tarkov was for a long time. So it's like, it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, how do you land the plane now? You've picked up so many stragglers along the way. I don't know how you land the plane, bro.
Yeah, and what we're talking about, they're parallel things. I realized what you were talking about was like the community and its response to the development changes.
Yeah.
And mostly what I was talking about was how the demographics in viewership led to different audience with different behaviors, different attitudes, different tendencies.
For sure.
Ignoring that they want Fortnite, they're just edgier. They're just like it's just a different generation that makes all of us graybeards want to say get off our lawn. But that just also made me think that what we have now is, it's kind of like when you hear like Oh God, and this is another thing that this isn't politics, but it's adjacent.
But I have to qualify. Yeah.
It's like when I hear a fucking 19-year-old high school Republican talk about how great it was in the 50s.
Oh, yeah,
the American nuclear family, and oh God, there was 2 parents, man and a woman, 2 kids, fucking woman stayed at home, blah blah. It's like you are in love with a fake idealistic idea of what things used to be like in the past.
Yeah.
These kids who wanted hardcore like it used to be were 14 when we started playing. They weren't allowed to play because mommy wouldn't let them take their credit card to buy a game rated M for mature. Okay, so
no,
they think hardcore and they're like, I've seen fucking Black Hawk Down, the retro movie that is Black Hawk Down. I watched fucking Zero Dark 30 or whatever, and the one with the guy from The Office who in Afghanistan.
Yeah, he's from Parks and Rec, but yep, Zero Dark 30.
No. Yeah, the other one.
Oh,
with the main character from The Office.
That's Jack Ryan, right? That's a TV show. I don't think, was he in a movie?
No, he was in a movie that was like something hours.
I mean, Zero Dark 30 is a movie. His name is
characters from The Office.
Jim Halpert.
John Krasinski.
13 hours.
13 hours. The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
Yeah, okay. Zero Dark 30 had Chris Pratt, who at the time was in Parks and Rec. So yeah. But no.
So anyway, he plays fucking Sergeant Cool Gun or whatever in that movie. What was I even talking about?
I don't know. I got lost in John Krasinski land.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I get lost in John Krasinski all the time, brother.
There you go.
In my dreams. But yeah, like I guess that was my point, was that like it was a new demographic with a new audience that is kind of a little oil and water with the old graybeards that also think they know what hardcore used to be.
Yeah.
And it's something that it never was. And it takes me and you and people like us to make YouTube videos to say, hey guys, back in the 50s, there was like a lot of racism and you couldn't, come out of the closet. And, like things were actually bad.
Yeah.
They weren't amazing. So it's not all fucking rainbows and magnets.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
See the reference? I brought it back.
Oh yeah. It's not all miracles. Magnets don't always work. No, I see what you're saying. Which is why I'm so excited for Arc Raiders, and I'm going to tell you why after a word from our second sponsor of this episode, and that is Ridge. Ridge is dope. Their wallets are insane. Ridge wallets are extremely slim. If you're looking for a slim wallet, they hold disproportionately more cards than you think out of this tiny wallet. Like it fits something like 12. It holds up to 12 cards. I would never need that money on me, or that many cards. I'm not breaded up like that. But it's like the perfect slim wallet made out of highly premium materials. You can fit up to 12 cards plus cash, which for me, I do like my ID, my insurance card, and like 2 cards, which makes it even slimmer. It's so nice. You can have there's an insane amount of customization in the materials used, not just color, but the materials. I have like a carbon fiber one. You've got like the Damascus steel one or something.
That one's probably nice, super light.
The carbon fiber one, it's sick. Yeah,
this one's like a fucking unit, but like not. It's so small that it's not like heavy. It's just
solid.
It's a unit.
Yeah. They're awesome. So yeah, premium materials like aluminum, titanium, and carbon fiber. All Ridge products have a lifetime warranty. This is literally the last wallet you'll ever need to buy. They have RFID blocking technology, over 100,000 5-star reviews, and they do more than just wallets. They've got like luggage. They've got like everyday carry stuff like keychains, and I think even like pocket knives and stuff like that. They have all sorts of stuff. They have an AirTag attachment, so you can put an AirTag on there so you never lose it. I don't know. They're sick. We've been using them for a while. They are genuinely insanely high quality and just like simple. Like this, it's not a project that's
minimalistic.
Yeah, it's not a product that's trying to be like, hey, what if your wallet was also your computer and your cell phone and your thing and your this? It's like like you need a wallet. This is a wallet that's made out of premium materials, lifetime warranty, and it's just a wallet. And that I don't know, in 2025 that feels rare.
Yeah, dude. When I you guys know I just got back from a trip to New Mexico, and we were in an RV, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And in the RV, it's running on batteries, right? So they have a generator in it. You don't want to be running the generator. So I was like literally Tech Andy over here, where I'm like, I've got my cell phone, my AirPods, my laptop that I need to like keep charged.
Yep.
And I'm not going to be like, hey, father-in-law, can you turn on the generator so I can charge my laptop while we're trying to enjoy a family vacation, right?
Yep.
Brother, this is the thing I never knew I needed.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you. So what you, did they show it? This little, yes, dude, this battery pack.
Yep.
I could put my phone on here
to charge.
Literally whatever the charging is called. Charging. I plugged in my AirPods, okay, here.
Yep.
And this USB-C I could plug into my laptop.
Yep. And you could actually charge your laptop. Yeah.
Brother, I did that for a couple of days and I had like 65% battery.
Yep.
I have no idea how, but this is the thing that I never knew I needed. I'm never traveling without this ever again.
Yep.
It was a godsend.
It's hot. It's freaking hot. Yep.
Oh, it even can do the Apple Watch?
Yeah, you can throw the Apple Watch. The newer AirPods cases, I think, go MagSafe as well.
Oh my God. Oh, and it's got a little kickstand, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this either.
Yeah.
Until I saw Meg do this when she was watching a movie on her phone.
Dang.
We watched My Cousin Vinny. And let me tell you, this little guy was like, all these things I never knew I needed or wanted showed up at my door. And I swear to God, like, I want like 5 of them.
Yeah. Yep. It's epic. No matter what you pick, Ridge has free shipping, 99-day risk-free trial, and lifetime warranty. For a limited time, our customers can get 10% off on Ridge.com using code Pogcast. That is code Pogcast at Ridge.com, and you're all set. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Thank you to Ridge for sponsoring this episode. Anyways, so that's Tarkov. That's what's going on. And basically, yeah, off of that, that's why I'm so excited for Arc Raiders. Like, I've got in the same like category of, in the same style of video that I just did with my hardcore or my Tarkov video, I've got another like 7,000 word script. That video is in the oven right now with Frankie and the team about Arc Raiders. That's basically the other side of the coin. Like, it's not a sequel to that video. It just is. It just happened to be that when I sat down to like give all my thoughts about Tarkov, it was 10,000 words on how like they don't understand what game they're trying to make, and that is the root sickness that all these symptoms are coming from. When I sat down to write my script about why I love Arc Raiders so much, it was because at the root core, they know exactly what game they want to make, and they want every single mechanic and every single thing that interacts with every single thing to service a very clear, consistent, cohesive vision for what game they want to make. And so it's, in a way, a sequel video because it is the other side of the coin, but it didn't intend to be that way. But like, that's why, we were just talking about the community and different types of people and different types of people wanting different types of things. And some of that is just like you were saying, like the community and the type of people that are there. And some of that is because all the stragglers that got picked up along the way as Tarkov was swerving around the road. The beauty of Arc Raiders is like, you're going to know if you don't like it or you like it.
Yeah.
Because it is laser focused. And I've been telling that to people, like, One of my favorite things about this game is that you will know if you don't like it in 5 minutes and you will never play it again. And Tarkov, it just seems like it's been dragging this like sack of millions of players that don't want to play anymore, but they're all like there because they are thinking maybe it'll be the way they want it to be one day. And this is like, it's a laser pointer, bro, on this experience. This is what we want this game to be. And because of that, if that's what you're looking for, you are going to love Arc Raiders, because the more you play and the more menus and the more systems and the more mechanics you interact with, you're going to go, holy shit, it all leads me to this feeling. And if you don't want that feeling, everything you're going to be like, I wish, you know what? I'm glad people like it, but it's not for me. And that hard line in the sand, that division, is going to be so healthy for the game. And that's not to say that you only get one experience out of it. That's not to say there's not dynamic. It's still an extraction shooter, right? You could die 8 times in a row. You could go broke. You could make it rich. Like, it's still an extraction shooter, but they know what that means, and they know the niche they want to carve out in that genre. And that's why I'm excited. Like, independent of the mechanics of the game, of like, oh, they chose to do this way. They chose to do that way. Like, that's all the side dishes, the entree, the steak on the plate, is that it feels like they know what game they want to make. And every single part of it was handcrafted to service that vision. That's the steak. And so that's why I'm excited. Like, that's the TLDR of like why I'm excited. And why, like, I'm going to be so happy. Like, I'm in no way going to try to convince people to play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you hop in during the free weekend this weekend and you're like, it's not for me, like, that's like, I'm not going to, like, I'm going to be like, yeah, oh, that exactly. Like, this game isn't for you because this is what this game is going to be. It's just, I'm so excited. So an interesting Arc Raiders thing that happened was one of the biggest overarching questions about Arc Raiders had been, are they going to do wipes? And then during the tech test, they were like, we're not going to do wipes. And that is like, you know how we talk all the time about how Tarkov basically accidentally invented the genre? And like, wipes are such an interesting thing. They were like very specifically not supposed to be in the game long term. And BSG basically stumbled into the fact that they were like, wipes actually give us a lot of positive. It's a great place for new players to hop in. It's a great place for old players to return. It's a reset of progression. And these games are all about progression. So the grind is real. Like, they realized after the fact that, like, holy shit, wipes actually, they do provide negative, which is that people are very frustrated that some people, more casual players, are very frustrated that their stuff is gone. But it provides so much benefit that they're like, what if we just kept going? And that's what they did. And then, you have all these, like, these other extraction shooters coming along, and nobody really knows what to do with it. A lot of games have tried wipes, but they just, didn't hit like Tarkov wipes did. Some games like Arena Breakout and Delta Force never have wipes, but then you have people with like 1 billion currency, and they can just like, because it never wipes, and they just kind of stack it, and that can get old. So they did a blog post about what they're going to do, because they were like, we're not going to do wipes, but we are going to do something different. A lot of people use Prestige as like a self wipe. You know what I mean? And they're called Expedition. It's just an interesting thing because, and here's the thing. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up. I'm going to read you an excerpt from my script, my Arc Raiders script. And then I'm going to read you an excerpt from this blog post. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, this is my script. And that's kind of how it feels right now with extraction shooters. It seems like everyone thinks in order for an extraction shooter to work, they need to be like Tarkov. We haven't had a game that comes along and truly understands what's at the core of extraction shooter genre and taken the time to dissect what makes this genre so fun and addicting. Arc Raiders is the first time I feel like the devs have peeled one more layer of the onion back. Instead of just seeing that Tarkov is successful and trying to do what Tarkov does, they decided to learn why extraction shooters are fun and then use those principles to create something new. Okay. This is an excerpt from their blog post. However, One thing mandatory wipes do not do is respect the investment of the players who do not have as much time to play overall. So, as we have done with several other mechanics, before mimicking other established mechanics, we would like to try our own method.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's like, yep. I mean, literally.
When you both independently arrive at the same conclusion, you know, sometimes maybe that's because that might be the right.
Yeah. And so just the fact that they were like, hey, let's try and figure out something that works for our game instead of just doing wipes because Tarkov does wipes or no wipes because other people. So basically the TLDR, this is just interesting if you are interested in extraction shooters because it's such a different thing. They're basically merging like the concept of a wipe and the concept of prestiging into a different thing. In the full game, players will have access to a feature called projects. At level 20, the first major project players will have access to is called the Expedition Project. Upon completion, this project makes a character reset available. If a player completes a reset, they will be able to do so again as long as they complete another project. These projects will operate on a repeating cycle of roughly 8 weeks. During the course of these 8 weeks, players can contribute towards making progression on their expedition project, which will overall be a somewhat large time investment. At the start of the 8th week, the ability to finalize your project will become available and remain for that entire week. If a player has fulfilled all the necessary stages of the project, they will be able to commit to completing the expedition. Should a player's project not be ready during the window, their progress will be kept, allowing them to continue working on the project until the next finalization window. Other projects may be added over time as a part of updates, holidays, or other events, and these will range in scale and reward structure. And when you go through an expedition, you lose everything. You wipe. And so basically, instead of everybody prestiging whenever they want, which means nobody really feels when it happens, you can only prestige or complete a thing every 8 weeks. So there will be much bigger groups of people that do it at a time.
Yeah.
But you don't have to race to do it because you can just say, like if you're a more casual player, you can just say, I'm going to shoot to like do this project every 16 weeks instead of 8 weeks. And there are going to eventually basically be multiple options where like this expedition gives this rewards, this one gives these rewards, this one, I'm going to do this one next. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like there's always something to do, and the FOMO won't be as bad in terms of like I don't think it's going to be as linear as just like I'm prestige 11 and I get this cool thing. It's like there's going to be like different routes to take and different things to do.
This is like vaguely adjacent to, and I think it might even be the same name in No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky Expedition. They have like every few months they have a thing that like, well, it's been so long since I've done it.
Yeah.
But basically, they're like time gated events where you have like new quests that get added, and there's like sometimes there's new mechanics, and you almost like start fresh with a new character.
Gotcha. Okay.
But like separate from everyone else playing, like you don't have to do the expedition. It's I wonder if that's why they're naming it that. It's
maybe. Well, I think I keep getting the version wrong. They're called, instead of prestiging, it's called projects. It's just the first project they're going to call the Expedition Project.
Oh, okay.
And maybe that is a nod to that style of thing. Now, I'm not on like I'm glazing Arc Raiders heavy, but I'm not on the train where I'm like,
because they pay you
so much money. But I'm not on the train where I'm like, oh my God, because they're doing it, it's going to be great. I don't know if this system is going to work. What I appreciate about it are three things. One, it was bespoke and made for their game. Two, it's just literally anything other than the other two options, which are just like prestige whenever you want or wipe every 4 months. And three, the third thing I appreciate about it is this. The last sentence of the blog post. It's not a silver bullet and won't achieve the clean break that mandatory global resets do, but it does aim to be more equitable to all players. This final sentence. Wherever possible, we want to value your time spent in the game as much as you do. That paragraph is everything because they are already recognizing that like no solution solves all the problems. If you have mandatory wipes, that gives you these benefits and these negatives. If you don't do wipes, that gives you these benefits and these negatives. And they're saying our solution still has negatives and we're willing to adapt because we're not positive it's going to be the best thing ever. But the end of the paragraph tells you, remember what I said about intentionality? There's always a guiding principle. There's always a clear vision. That's what they said. They said at the end, wherever possible, we want to value your time spent as much as you do. So that's the North Star. So if this ends up sucking and everybody gets through them super quick or there's not enough rewards, we know their North Star. So we can say, hey, this isn't that respectful of players' times because they've given us the building block. And then they'll probably respond to that. And it's like, I just feel like BSG was afraid to do that, to ever say, this is the building block. This is the North Star. I guess they just never knew.
Yeah, no, dude, this is the perfect example of like what we've been saying for years. Like, notice the juxtaposition, and this isn't a subtle one.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is a subtle one to some people, but pay attention to the difference between these two things. I made this change, and I want a particular outcome or experience, so we made this change.
Yeah.
If the change is bad, which one do you think has any remote chance of like ever being improved?
Because I made this change. All you can do is say, I don't like that change. That's the
this
breadth
doesn't achieve your goal.
That's the breadth of your feedback. I don't like it. And that's valid feedback, but that's all you can do. That's all we've all done is we've said this is bad because I think they want this other thing, and really it's they think about saying,
what they want.
This is the outcome we want, therefore we have made this change. Well, now your feedback can be, this is a bad change because it doesn't achieve that goal, or it only achieves that goal for a certain type of player and not other types of players. Now your feedback can be, and that's what I'm saying, that they have constantly done that in every community update, in every blog post. It's that they are unashamed. They are willing to say, this is what we want. And this is, literally, this blog post is set up that way. It's what are wipes and why do people want them? Here's our idea. What is kept and what is lost? Why should you do this? Benefits and incentives. And then it ends with, it's not a silver bullet, but we want to make sure we're respecting players' times. So, once again, some people, and this is actually justified, some people misinterpreted my excitement as I was reading through this blog post as, you really think this is going to be better? And I don't know. This system could be amazing. It could be mid. It could be ass. My excitement is in a dev team that's just willing to fucking be honest and be like, here's our game. Here's what we want. So here's what we're trying. And it doesn't end with fuck you if you think differently. It ends with, we understand it's not a perfect solution. That's what gets me excited. So I'm excited to hop into Arc Raiders. I'm excited to do some expeditions and give some feedback. But this is how, by the way, also, if you've ever said before, all BSG does is listen to streamers, this is how that doesn't happen. Because when they tell everyone in the community, not just some people who have Nikita's phone number, what they want the game to be, everybody in the community can contribute to, well, it doesn't play out that way. Whereas when they're just saying, we made this change, in order to get that change changed or redacted, you basically need a mob. So the tents get set up and the content creators amass a mob of people who agree with them and go, you see how many people think your shit sucks? Change it. And then they change it. And then to everybody else, that's interpreted as, well, that content creator got that thing changed, even though it wasn't necessary. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, so
it's a toxic cycle.
It is a toxic
Banter.
cycle. So like that is what has me excited. Their prestige system could be cool. It could be bad, but like, oh, that's just the shit that gets me so excited. So I'm excited to get that video out because like I haven't been this excited for a game in a long time, and their devs just keep knocking it out of the park as far as I'm concerned. So
bro, you said the
no, go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say you had mentioned the word count of the script.
Yeah.
How many words?
The Tarkov one was like 9,000. I think this one's like 7,000. Yours is probably like 35,000 words minimum.
I'm about to show you something. So, bro, this is my outline. Look, 21,000, 19,000, 2,000, 2,000, 15,000, 30,000.
You're a menace to society.
It's 90,000 words, and that's half of my script. I want to clip that and send it to 17-year-old Mike.
Yeah.
And have him be like, bro, what? I struggled to write a 2-page double-spaced essay.
Dude, that's what I was saying. I remember,
are you fucking kidding me?
I remember hoping that the 1-page paper could be double-spaced. I remember begging for it to be double-spaced, and when it was single-spaced, I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? And now we're writing you're writing 100,000 word.
66, 100, it's like 100, 200 something pages. And I love, dude, it's the same thing with the titles of all these Google Docs with my Final Cut Pro project names.
Yeah.
It's Dead Internet Outline, newest Dead Internet Summary, Dead Internet
Final,
Dead Internet Bots, Dead Internet Algorithm, Dead Internet Algorithm 2. Definitely last final
dude,
project.
Could you
Definitely
imagine not only because it'd be funny to tell your past self how much words you're writing, think about the time and place. Imagine telling that Mike, who's like just recently got a Facebook, and like the internet was the best it was ever gonna be in that time, bro. It was like humans. It was like there were no bots. There was no AI. Your data wasn't getting harvested by anything. It was just like
my grandma wasn't on Facebook yet.
It was just community. It was just hanging out with people you love. It was AOL Instant Messenger. It was that kind of stuff. Imagine telling that Mike that not only are you writing a 100,000 word script, it's about how the internet fucking ruined everything.
Bro. You're so right. And this is going to take me back. Bro, before Zynga ruined the world.
Zynga.
Farmville used to be a Facebook game.
Yep,
Farmville used to be a Facebook game. It used to be a fucking Facebook game.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to fucking sit in my apartment in college playing Farmville, the Facebook game.
Yep.
While drinking old what is it? English breakfast tea.
I used to
sitting there
in class at community college and play Farmville on my phone.
Dude, Farmville. Oh my god.
Yes.
That's when things were good. The before times.
Dude, it does feel like the before times. So that's Arc Raiders. Before we move on, I'm going to take a second and thank the third and final sponsor for this episode, and that is Factor. You know them, you love them. The premier way to get ready-to-eat, chef-prepared, dietitian-approved meals that are ready in 2 minutes, bro. Factor's great. My thing with these types of sites is always convenience and customizability. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm making that word up. So you as a consumer, it's not like a gym membership where you're locked into 2 years at this price and every 18 months the price is going to scale up. It's super transparent. It's week by week. At any moment, you can say, hey, I'm out of town next week. Skip next week. They're not going to send you any meals. They're not going to charge you. Next week's a busy week. I'm going to be home a lot. I want extra meals. And then you can pick what meals. Do you want the steak? Do you want this? Do you want more keto? Do you want something higher in protein? You can let it pick for you. You can pick if you want. It's just, you have so much agency over how much you spend, what type of food you get, and how much of it you get. Oh, and that's like the hugest selling point for me.
Yeah, the worst part of my week is when I run out of the Factor meals that I ordered thinking that I was not going to need to order any more Factor meals. Okay, because that's when you have me today getting Panera Bread, Uber Eats, $47 I paid for half a sandwich and a soup. Okay.
And it arrives an hour and a half late.
And it arrives an hour and a half late. If I could have just been BRB chat, go upstairs, pop it in the microwave, come down, I'd have a healthier meal that cost infinitely less.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have to contribute to the gig economy of my local driver.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, there's never been a meal that I didn't either know I already loved, and it was just, a fantastic version of what was already familiar, or something where I kind of stepped a little out of my food comfort zone.
Yep. And
was pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
Yep.
There's all sorts of things, premium options like seafood or salmon or shrimp. You can try. They have a new Asian inspired meals with both flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. 90% of customers say that Factor helps them live a healthier life because those decisions are made for them. The portions, the ratio of there's carbs, there's protein, there's fat, there's vegetables on the plate. It's all sorts of stuff. So it's great. You can eat smart at factormeals.com/Pogcast50off. A little bit of a longer code. Pogcast50off. And use code Pogcast50off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That is code Pogcast50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus a free breakfast item for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers and with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring this episode.
Bro, let me show you a quick clip.
Show me.
I don't have a whole lot to talk about when it comes to Path of Exile.
Oh, okay.
I've just been going back and forth between Path of Exile and some Magic: The Gathering Arena. I also played Power Washing Sim 2 demo.
Oh.
Tons of little quality of life.
2 power, 2 washing?
Yeah, dude. Tons of little quality of life things. There's going to be some new tools and stuff rather than just the same old couple of different nozzles and whatever. There's what looks like almost like a circular, how you see those guys buffing the floor.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but it's some kind. I only saw it in the store. I wasn't gonna do the first level 17,000 times to get enough money to try to buy it. But yeah, overall I'm actually really excited. Looks like it's gonna be good.
When is that coming out?
I think later this year.
Nice.
They've been giga active on Twitter. I get 5 notifications a day, and it was one of the few things where I'm notify me.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I've ever on Twitter was notify me when this person posts. It's the Power Washer.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I just want to show you. This was kind of my week in a nutshell playing Path of Exile 2. This will give you an idea of kind of what the end game looks like. Let me know. You should be able to hear.
Mm-hmm. I don't.
Yo, million DPS.
Yo, 1,000,000 DPS? How much of this are you like actively
Wait for it.
doing?
Wait for it.
About to drop the nuke?
No, the nuke's about to get dropped on me. Ah!
What?
Bro, I fucking just broke the game.
Did it just log you out?
It just logged me out, bro. I don't know what happened. If it was like, that's happened twice to me, and it's always when there's like 8 billion mobs on screen. I'm doing 1,000,000 DPS, and I'm like teleporting all over the place, and then I just get logged out.
What the?
And the frustrating part is, in the end game, I've talked a bunch about like crafting.
Yeah.
All the different things you can craft. Well, the end game is basically there's this big map with all these little connected nodes, and you basically like explore the map, and you just, go into each location, usually just kill all the rare monsters, kill the boss, leave, rinse and repeat, and then different environments, different whatever. The kind of sort of end game mechanics that allow you to customize that experience, to open up a map, you need a waystone. It's basically like a key.
Okay.
You can, but that, just like all the other items, are craftable. So you can get like a normal white with no affixes whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
There's 15 tiers, well, actually 16 tiers, but 15 tiers that get harder and harder. And you could just go in with like a white level 15 keystone, run it and whatever, or you can make it a magic one, which adds 1 affix.
Yeah.
You can add another
okay.
attribute. Then you can make it rare, which gives it, 3 to 6.
Yep.
But then there is also, you can take that and you can do what's called distilling with emotions. So you literally have like, it'll be called like distilled paranoia.
Oh my God.
And what that does is it basically makes it so that there are more like high difficulty rare monsters.
Gotcha.
And then there's one that's like distilled greed, and that makes it so that like the item rarity is increased. So there's all these different metas and combinations of like, you add these different affixes on there. You go and you distill it with the emotions, which then will maximize, 1, 2, 3 different kind of stats. Then there's tablets that also you can apply to like things. That's a whole different story. Then there's like the current league mechanic has to do with desecration. So what that does is that like you can desecrate it, which adds a modifier to it. That's basically like some weird, funky alien looking language that you have to go to a place and like reveal it, and it gives you the choice of 3.
Okay.
So there's like a whole bunch that you can do to basically say, I want a tier 15 map, but I want it to be like prioritized towards either like item rarity.
Uh-huh.
So basically like increase how many drops you'll get. Or maximize for like the number of rare monsters, which it's kind of like, do you want to kill 1 rare monster with 100% chance of something good dropping, or 100 monsters each with 3%
like,
chance?
Yeah.
So you kind of choose and you can balance it. You can do this and that. But every time you do that, it adds like 1 or 2 negative modifiers. Like, okay, well,
yeah.
Every time you kill a rare monster for the next 10 seconds, everything does 50% more damage to you. So it's like every good thing comes with a bad thing. So like what you were seeing here was basically like me doing a map, and I don't know if I ever hit tab or not, but you can see like the map will have like a giant list, and it'll be like this big. That'll just be a list of like all the monsters, say fuck you to all your resistances. They do 1,000 times more damage. There's 200 more of them, blah, 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 blah. And then there's, some positive benefits. So long story short, more like long story medium. I had like juiced up this map to be like super hard, and I have to. The optimal thing is to like find a very particular type of map because there's randomly generated. So I found a map that was like, it was overrun with these creatures. That are a lot harder, but there's more of a benefit. You get like more XP. There's more item drops. And then on the Waystone, one of the things I had chosen as like a desecrated modifier was basically, it says the monsters in the abysses, which are these like small areas in the map. You can see this kind of like green. So like these areas will have like a big pit, like a hole in the ground where these abyssal monsters will come out of. And they're a lot harder. Well, basically when you have a map that's overrun by abyss, it means every single monster is this type of monster. There's a modifier that basically says every time you clear one of these little holes, then all the abyssal monsters you face after that are going to be harder. So it gets to the point where the first mob I can hit in one hit, but once it gets to the later parts, it takes me, you know, like 20 will literally spawn underneath me, and you know, if I don't move, I'm dead. Because I'm going to be hitting them and their health's going to go like this. And my character, I have some energy shield here, but I don't know if you can see my lifetime. You mentioned, you talked about that in your build. So it was super depressing. Because basically going through all this crafting where there's a lot of RNG, you find a thing, I juice it up so that it's like going to be really hard but really rewarding. I'm doing really well. I was killing everything. I was like cruising, and then you don't get the key back, right? You don't get the Waystone back. I don't get the key back. The map is like basically no longer accessible. And one of the things I recently it was something I had to like mentally talk myself out of. When I'm killing a thing and like items drop on the ground, I already have like a loot filter. If I press Alt, you would see there's like a billion more things that my loot filter just is ignoring because, you know, if that billionaire, I'm not going to pick up pennies off the road. You know what I mean? So all the things that are on the ground, first of all, go poof. And I had just recently kind of had to talk myself into saying, I built my character to be, you know, giga fast, right? I'm just killing. I'm going all over the place. And all of these things are dropping, you know, like these are all things, you know, like that. These are all things I would, you know, kind of want to pick up. Right. And I've been trying to talk myself out of stopping every 2 seconds to pick up every little fucking thing. Because if I'm going to be this fast, I should just be zooming around. Fast. I should kill everything and then go pick up all the stuff afterwards. But you know, so after I'm like, no, you know, I'm going to start leaving stuff on the ground and I'll pick it up afterwards. And then like next 2 times I like talk myself into that. Or I either died or I got like disconnected somehow, and it's like all the things on the ground. I love the concept of like treating the content like the gear, with like it's fucking genius because it's infinite replayability without like the Blizzard method of like I have to come up with a new expansion every couple months, like bespoke content. It's like you can kind of guide the replayability of the content, because I remember, like, once again, I haven't done a lot of like MMO or MMO adjacent things. I feel like ARPG is, you know, similar. It's like a offshoot, but I remember playing like The Division and Destiny, and if you're looking for this piece of gear, you have to run this dungeon, and that's it. Just keep running it. You know what I mean? It's like just 18th time I got the shoulder piece and I needed the legs, do it again. So like the fact that you can not only modify, like you can like, you know, spec into a higher % chance to get it, but then that also makes the experience of it different. And then you might go, fuck, I wasn't prepared for that.
that is a good way to do it because I was getting so much rare gear, but now I need to go then do this thing because I want to farm up to get a little stronger so that I can run this because and it's like, then that's emergent. That's you're making those decisions and the order in which you want to make them to like achieve your goal, as opposed to like the mindless, I'm just going to run this dungeon until I get the legs. And then you get the legs and you're like, well, what do I do now? You know what I mean?
No, dude, for sure. It really is like genius. And there's just so much more to the game too, that like I am kind of uncovering every day. Yeah. So I'm to the point now where to be fair, I got pretty well bootstrapped, you could say, because I either had some folks in chat that were like, I'm done playing for the league, like I've got some currency or whatever, like if you want it, you can have it. And I'm to the point now where I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say no just because I'm worried someone's gonna give me shit. I'm like, yeah, man, whatever, I'll take it. So now the only downside to that is when content creators do that and then they make it seem like they did it all, like, you know what I mean? Or they either make it seem like this is how you are expected to play a casual, or like I'm this good, so I've got like sort of infinite resources at this point to do whatever I want. My gear is like, see, the thing is that like to get to 95% takes a good decent amount of work. To get to 96% takes a lot of work. To get to 97% takes a stupid amount of work. To get to 98% is like you don't have a life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's such diminishing returns.
Yeah.
I could spend so much more to get 1 or 2 stat points in a few different places. And it's like, am I doing 1 million damage or 1,037,000 damage?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
But we had this conversation with chat a couple of days ago, and what they were asking was, remember how I talked about there's the exalted orb and the divine orb, and how there's kind of like that's like the $1 bill and the $100 bill kind of, except it's more like $1,000 bill. I think it's like 900 to 1 is the price. And I still like click on every exalt orb, even though I have 500 divines. Like for some reason, I still just my loot filter just makes it look like I should click it. I don't know. I gotta change that. But and they were like, they had basically said that they drop a lot more divine orbs drop on the ground and they pick up than this other currency. I forget what it was they said. Maybe it was like annulment. And what the annulment orb does is it randomly removes a modifier from an item.
Yeah.
So sometimes you might have an item that has like 5 out of 6 good ones, and then the 6th one is like a tier 9 plus 5 to light radius, and you're like, I don't, what the fuck, like just take this out of the game, right?
Gamble.
So you want to gamble, and they were like, why is the divine orb like this kind of sought after de facto currency? And what I suspected was, or what I suspect is, and I'm definitely no like PoE Andy, but a divine orb, what it does is randomizes the numeric values of the random modifiers on an item.
Okay.
So let's just say you have an item that has 6 tier 1 stats, and which is already like giga rare. I don't think I have any items that are like that. Usually the stats will say like, plus X% to your lightning resistance, and it'll be like 27 to 36.
Yeah, the range. Okay.
Obviously, you want 36. You want the max value of the lowest tier, highest tier, tier 1. The best tier. I hate that. It's kind of like the low string or the high string on a guitar.
The high string is lower than you are, but yeah.
It always got me. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm the high string. I'm like, which one's the high E? I don't know. And they were like, why is it like, why does anybody care? Because like what he was saying was like, you would use the annulment orb, he thought, so much more often than the the divine. And the idea that I have, and maybe if there are any PoE Andies that are watching and want to leave a comment on the podcast video, what I suspected was, what I basically said was, they had said that like getting any better stats on my gear at this point, I'm already at 95%, like the 96, 97, it's like, it's just not worth it, right? And what I basically said was, listen, you are like a level 97 character grinding these maps over and over and over and over and over again. You're getting a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of XP to your next level. And when you get to your next level, you get one passive tree. It's plus 5 to dexterity. Literally no effect. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I'm like, why are you playing? Why do any of us play a game like this when at this point, ostensibly, we're not really going to be improving our gear
that meaningfully
to a noticeable degree? And at least my answer to that was basically like, it's the chase. Every time you kill a monster is unlocking the loot box in CSGO.
100%. Yeah.
Right? You hear a drop, you always want to hear that little noise where it's like, oh shit, something dropped. Where is it? Oh, it's a divine, right? Everybody's so excited about it's the chase, right? Even if you have the 98th percentile gear, you still always kind of want to craft, see if you can get the 99th percentile, right?
For sure.
And what I thought was that basically the divine orbs, imagine you have the like, you know, god tier item that's all tier 1 stats, but let's say they're like random rolls. The richest of the rich people playing the game, when I watch the like giga late game crafting, rather than use the divine orbs as the $1,000 bills, you know, it's like it's the video game equivalent of using $1,000 bills as wallpaper in your bathroom, because they'll click the item that already has incredible stats, better than 99% of the players, and just randomize the rolls. And if you have an item that has 6 prefixes and suffixes, each with a range of, you know, let's just say there's a range of 4, you know, if from 1 to 4, most of the time it might be 20, 30, 40, you know, can be the ranges of some of these stats. What you want is the 1 out of 6 that is the highest roll. The 1 out of 6 that's the highest. The 1 out of 6. The 1 out of 6. The 1 out of 6. And then it's, you know, the 1 out of 6 needs to then be the 1 out of 37, which is the range, right? The max range. So they sit there with 1,000 of these and just go click, 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 until
just
they
looking for the roll.
Just getting the like you wanna, and that's where like it all goes, right? Like, there's really isn't exactly the equivalent. If you think about like, God, now we're getting into like fiat currency, man. What is money anyway?
What is money?
Like what? This is the question we'll all be asking when the zombie apocalypse happens. What are these small pieces of paper gonna do for me? I want shotgun ammo and I want canned food. That's the real currency now, right? At the end of the day, everyone's spending this currency and the money's going all over the place. But at the end of the day, what is it used for? It's like the gold bars in Fort Knox that are like the backing for our currency or whatever the fuck. There's someone with 10,000 of these things going, I want to get the perfect thing. They're pulling the slot machine. They're pulling the slot machine. So it's like, it's the point of these divine orbs. Ultimately, why they have value is not the rarity. They're rare, but it's the utility plus the rarity. And the utility being the inherent, the chase. It's the item equivalent of I want the best of the thing. And all day yesterday, I got into, not all day, maybe 2 or 3 hours. I got into going into the in-game store, finding people selling a particular base, a magic item, 1 prefix, 1 suffix of this particular jacket. And I bought like 50 of them. Each one was like 2 or 3 divines. And it's like, okay, the first click I do, it'll never brick the item. The first click I do, there's there's a prefix and a suffix. And what I wanted, it was basically like the energy shield and evasion, like the defensive portion of it,
Yep.
as one prefix, and the suffix is usually like plus 30 to fire resistance.
Yeah.
And it might be like from 30 to like 45 or something. The first click I do, and this is kind of the pseudo deterministic crafting. The first click I do, it makes it a rare item. So it has 3 affixes. It's got the kind of, armor, evasion, whatever. I'll just call it armor for now. Armor, resistance. When I do the first click, now it's armor, resistance, resistance.
Okay.
And then I do the desecration, which is the thing that gives you the weird alien looking thing that you like uncover.
Oh, yeah.
Later on. But I have another item that I activate that basically says the next time you desecrate an item, it's guaranteed to be a prefix.
Yeah.
Now, so items have 3 suffixes and 3 prefixes.
Yeah.
So I have got 1 and 2. So I desecrate as a prefix. So now it's 1 and 3.
Yep.
And certain stats can only be a prefix, or you'll never get like armor in the suffix. It's always a prefix modifier. So then what I do is I use another fucking orb, the exalted orb. You can get like a greater version of it that basically says it'll add a random modifier to an item.
Okay.
The greater one, basically what that kind of says, I don't know exactly what it is, and it doesn't say exactly, but I think what it says is like the tier will never be like higher than 3.
Gotcha.
So it'll either be like 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Because there is like 15 tiers.
Yeah. And the higher,
and once you
the
get to the
worse.
late game, you don't. If you get, if you have an item that has like a tier 4 stat, you're like, it's a dead item.
Yeah.
So I've got resistance, some desecrated modifier, which I know is going to be like one of like 12 things.
Yeah.
And then 1 prefix. I activate these 2 other items that sit in your inventory, and they say the next time you use an exalted orb, repeat it. So basically you get a 2 for 1.
Yep.
And then the other one I activate says the affixes that you add next will be the same type as an existing modifier.
Gotcha. So you can turn that 1 into 3, and you can kind of point it in the direction you want it to go.
So the first prefix was like the evasion and energy shield. That's a defenses modifier. Yeah. What you really want is there's like the collection of stats. If you look at them, it'll say like, plus X to evasion and energy shield. There's another one that's plus X to maximum energy shield. And there's another one that's like a hybrid, which is plus to energy shield and evasion plus to maximum or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So those 3, it's all just evasion and energy shield.
Yep.
All in one. You want those 3.
Yeah.
What you don't want is there's another hybrid that's like energy shield and life, or energy shield and mana.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have like a 2 out of 5 chance or whatever to get the exact 3 you want as prefixes, and then you go and you do the desecration kind of reveal.
Yep.
So now you get the choice of 3. Sometimes it'll be like shit stat, good stat, but it's tier 9. You're like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
There's another item you activate that basically says next time you reveal a desecration, you can re-roll it once.
Oh my God.
So there's the RNG. It's every time it's just pulling the slot machine. And I went and I invested, I don't know, I want to say like 30 or 40, let's say $1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Div into all these just blank items. Crafted them, and it was like, click, that's dead. Click, that's dead. Click, that's good. Click, oh my God, that's God tier. Click, dead. Click, dead. Click, dead. Throw all the ones in the trash. I've got 2. Okay, cool. Put those aside, and I do it again until I've got, 5 or 6 of them. And then it's do the double exalted orb. It's like dead, good, whatever. Then the reveal. And then it's like at the end, what I end up with is a ton that are garbage. One, I might have spent, let's say, 30 div. One that's worth 20 div, and one that's worth 80 div. And it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I just like tripled my money.
Yeah.
So now it's like, why am I playing the game to even get a thing that when I see that item drop and it's a rare item already, I know it has 5 or 6 stats. I'm gonna reveal it. And think about what we're doing there. We're rolling the dice on 6 stats.
So many things.
You want 6 kind of specific. You want, energy shield, resistance. There are some that are like okay second or third choices, but there's 50 or 60 possible. What are the chances you're going to get the 6 out of 50? And then what are the chances that they'll be all tier 1 and or 2?
Yeah.
And then what are the chances that there'll be high rolls of those? I don't even want to pick up the like highest items that drop. I want the white items so that I can craft it myself because there's this deterministic. So it's like you have control, you know what the risk is.
Yeah.
And so I'm like totally addicted to this whole thing. And you know what's the most fascinating part? As I'm like, I've unlocked this like incredible secret economy that now I can profit from this thing and I can like make this a business, when I get teleported to someone else's hideout, because that's what happens when you see it in the listing in the game. You're like, all right, I want to buy this thing. You hit and it teleports you to their hideout, which everybody has like their own customized sort of place. So you're like, open up the little chest and you can see everything they have for sale with the thing you clicked on highlighted. And I see the one I saw today was just all like Chinese or Japanese characters were like the labels, and he had like 300 stash tabs. These are like the game is going to be free to play, early access you pay for, but really where they're going to make most of their money are going to be the microtransactions for like either skins or for like conveniences like stash tabs. And bro, I was just like clicking on tab, and a tab is like I don't know, it's like a fucking 50 by 50 grid. And like a chest armor might be like 3x2.
Yeah.
And it's just walls of these chest armors with the stats I'm looking for. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. It's like, I don't know if they're bots or if they're RMT.
Yeah. Or if they're just like freaking.
Like, you can't. They're not playing the game more than I'm playing the game.
Yeah.
They're not playing more than I'm playing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm playing 10 hours a day every day. No non-content creator is playing that much. And even if they are, they can't play for enough.
Yeah.
Because I'll get one of these items will drop like 2 of them maybe a day. They've got like 300 of them. So they must somehow like, I don't know. It's just really kind of interesting.
That's insane.
But it's a whole world, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so addicting.
I mean, you're so right. Pulling the lever just feels good, man. It feels good. That's always been what that kind of stuff is about. Whether you're running a dungeon in WoW to try and get the boots, whether you're crafting something, whether you're like, it's just, whether you're freaking unlocking marked room, pulling the lever, just.
And you know what the worst aspect of it is that there is a mechanic in the game called corruption. There's this thing called a Val orb. When you use it on an item, it permanently corrupts the item.
Yeah.
And after that, you can never change anything about it.
Yeah.
What it can do is remove shit entirely.
Uh-huh.
It can change all the things to garbage tier garbage. Or it can add like a 7th. Like
affix
super
or whatever.
High tier, like there are things I've never seen before.
So you do all that.
Do something incredible, adding an additional socket.
Yeah.
So like normally you can put 2 sockets in a chest armor. You can corrupt it, and all of a sudden you see a third one. It's like, oh, because then now you can put a thing in there that can like add a ton of stats.
Yeah.
Again.
So you roll it all the way up. You do the thing to get the thing, and you craft the thing, and you get the thing, and it's 30, and then it comes to 3, and then all the way up, and then it's like, and then you roll it one more fucking time, and you could throw that thing in the garbage, or it could go from God tier to like S God plus tier.
Dude, and it's one of those things like, okay. I'll have you tell this story, or at least confirm what I'm saying momentarily. Don't let me forget. But I am like a risk averse. I'm one of those people where if I roll a thing, I think you already know.
I know exactly where you're going, bro.
You already know. If I go through all the RNG already and get something that's like a 9 out of 10, I'm walking away because I'm happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened when we played in Las Vegas at TwitchCon, a year or two ago?
Yeah.
What happened at the casino in Vegas?
Bro, dude, me and Adam and Eric have been like, we got there 3 days early. We have been gambling nonstop. And then TwitchCon started. We were, out, we were going out each night. And you came out and we were like, V, and you sat next to me and you played 2 hands and won them both. And then you literally, I thought you were joking. You looked at and you're like, hey, can I cash out? And I was like, what the hell?
Bro, I split, got a blackjack, and then won a hand that I'm like,
it was like GG's.
It's never gonna go up from here. So I made like $150 and I'm like, I'm done.
You didn't even have time to get a drink, bro.
And I watched and see, here's the thing. You guys got fun and entertainment and gambling.
Yeah.
So did I, watching you gamble and watching the chips. If I could time lapse it, it would be like this.
Yeah, 100%.
Until you guys were all drunk with no money.
Yeah. I walked away from that trip even, which to me is a huge W. I didn't make any money, but I just even, bro. And that was, for the amount we gambled, that was a huge W, just walking away even.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so
I didn't
anyway,
make any money.
All of that's to say that I'm not the type that's like frivolous with I'll just pull the lever one more time, because losing $9 I just found is way worse than maybe winning 10 or getting nothing.
Yeah.
Because if I never have it, I don't feel like I lost it.
Yes. Yeah.
But after yesterday, now I already had like a 95 percentile armor.
Yeah.
And someone even asked me, they're like, why are you crafting all this stuff? Like, it's really unlikely you're gonna get anything better. One of the things I rolled was like an 82 percentile, which is probably like most of the time, the average is like 75%.
Okay.
Most of them end up in the trash, but usually with the ones I can keep. But so the cool thing is that like when you roll something that's like 87%, you're gonna fucking hit the Val Orb every time. I've got 500 div. Do I care to sell something? It's worth a div now. And there was one, I rolled the dice on it, and it changed like one stat, added another thing, and I was like, holy shit. And it's just better than what I had. So now it's like, well, now I've got a thing like locked in that I've got. So then the really good thing I have now that I also crafted, I'm like, well, I might as well hit that with a Val Orb.
Yeah.
Bricked it.
Yeah. But
I already came out, with a fucking W. But it's just really cool because what I also did was I end up with all these 75 tier, 75 percentile mediocre whatever.
Yeah.
That it's like trash, boom. Oh, fuck. I just made it a 94%.
Yep.
And that it's 10 times more than what I spent to do all of this.
Yep.
So it's, dude, there's just
That's
so
sick.
much to these games that it's like not even the game. It takes me back to the Diablo 2 days because I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours playing Diablo 2 in a way they never meant to anybody to play the Diablo 2, doing the same thing over. And it was just like the chase.
Yep.
Of opening up all these loot boxes, especially when I mean, think about people sit around for 7 hours with a stream open so they can get like 4 fucking like car batteries in Tarkov as a drop.
Yeah.
So people love, free shit.
Yep.
This is kind of like the equivalent of like an infinite sort of loot box. It really is like the
that's I in another life,
factory.
man, I would have gone way down that rabbit hole 100%. That's so sick. Well, hell yeah, dude. I love that it's the gift that keeps on giving, you know what I mean? Like that's and it's crazy that it's still in early access. Like I keep thinking of the game as like out, but like people were saying in chat, there's like tons of mechanics from PoE 1 that haven't even made it over yet. Like there's a lot, which is cool, man. Dude, I always say more good games, more better. I think that's sick.
Indeed.
But yeah, that's the stuff this week. Thank you guys for hanging. Sorry there was no episode last week. V was out of town for a while and we couldn't figure out how to get it done early, but we're back. I'm about to go into like a 72 hour bender playing the free weekend for our creators.
I'm going to New York for a wedding, so have fun.
Oh, nice. That's cool, man.
Cousin's getting married.
Oh yeah. So thank you. If you want even more podcast content, you can go to patreon.com/thepogcastpod. Get early ad-free access to these episodes, additional episodes that we film over there, and even we've been dabbling in some gaming things, which has been fun.
If you liked the unhinged nature of basically the entire last episode and the beginning of this episode, the Patreon podcast is even more unhinged.
Yes,
that's
all
what
the
those
time.
episodes
Yeah.
So check it out.
100%. Thank you to Perfect Gene, Ridge, and Factor for sponsoring this episode. You guys are the best, and we will definitely see y'all on the next one.
Peace.